I'm Candy Shaw. I'm very lucky to live in a beautiful, very old house with modern extensions, married to William Bath, and I've been with Attivo for about 6 months. They've taken over everything. They've organised my life for me, which I love. I worked very, very hard from the age of 11 when I realised I had to catch up a year in a year, and it's been tough. It's been very tough getting the O-levels, the A-levels that I had to get, getting into university, and I've always worked very hard. I need to feel very, very safe about the future. I retired kind of and tried it about 65 and tried 3 months of it and was hopeless, hated the whole thing. And so that's when we decided to get the group of children's homes. And that took us, probably about 10 years. And then had another retirement. We bought Manor Barn in Deerhurst, Walton, and that had 5 catering units. We did Airbnb, which I loved. We had a discussion with someone who was my former financial advisor who was retiring, and that concerned me a great deal because he was saying to William, spend, 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 just at a time when one shouldn't spend, spend, spend. And I mentioned this to Jerry Lewis, who said, you really must meet Ryan Wright at Attivo. He can help you. And we had a meeting. He literally asked the right questions. So I felt, even though the questions seemed very, very weird, he got to know exactly how we felt about everything. William and I had had companies. William came from a group of woolen manufacturers, family business. And I'd been in business, and although I never owed the tax man, believe it or not, or the mortgage company or anybody else any money, obviously things were paid for, like a car was paid for, or food was paid for, or something was paid for, and I wasn't used to budgeting. And Ryan said, well, actually, I think you better get used to it. So he gives William a certain amount of money, and then I'm given a joint account for housekeeping, and I have my own money. I think this is absolutely, and he's strict. He's all of 31, 32 years old, and he's actually said, that's what you've got, and it's got to work, and if it really doesn't, well, have a word with me. Well, this is wonderful. He actually manages my finances for me, and I'm totally okay with that. To have lunch with Stephen and with Jerry Lewis, who had introduced me to Attivo, somebody picked up on a question, how do you feel about Attivo? And I said, I feel safe. And he heard this, and he's been interested ever since, because they do. Attivo are very, very different. They operate in a different way. They obviously have very, very good in-house training. They're up to date with all the legislation, which keeps changing very, very quickly. I like the way they operate. I like the way they really understand your lifestyle, what you're wanting, and what can be achieved in future. They're very, very different to any other financial company that I've ever dealt with in the past. And I have been severely upset in the past. And I feel very reassured. I feel very well looked after and safe.